Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila. We are going to be reading from verses 10 onwards. Ukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramanandam Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. In terms of his previous manifestations, he is known in three features called the impersonal Brahman, the localized Paramatma, and the original personality of Godhead. Purport: Srila Jiva Goswami has explained the word Bhagwan in his Bhagavad Sandarbha, the personality of Godhead being full of all conceivable and inconceivable potencies is the absolute supreme whole. Impersonal Brahman is a partial manifestation of the absolute truth realized in the absence of such complete potencies. The first syllable of the word Bhagwan is Bha, which means sustainer and protector. The second letter Ga means leader, pusher and creator. Va means dwelling. All living beings dwell in the Supreme Lord, and the Supreme Lord dwells within the heart of every living being. Combining all these concepts, the word Bhagwan carries the import of inconceivable potency in knowledge, energy, strength, opulence, power, and influence, devoid of all varieties of inferiority. Without such inconceivable potencies, one cannot fully sustain or protect. Our modern civilization is sustained by scientific arrangements devised by many great scientific brains. We can just imagine, therefore, the gigantic brain whose arrangements sustain the gravity of the unlimited number of planets and satellites, and who creates the unlimited space in which they float. If one considers the intelligence needed to orbit man-made satellites, one cannot be fooled into thinking that there is not a gigantic intelligence responsible for the arrangements of the various planetary systems. There is no reason to believe that all the gigantic planets float in space without the superior arrangement of a superior intelligence. This subject is clearly dealt with in the Bhagavad Gita 15.13, where the personality of Godhead says, I enter into each planet and by my energy they stay in orbit. Were the planets not held in the grip of the personality of Godhead, they would all scatter like dust in the air. Modern scientists can only impractically explain this inconceivable strength of the personality of Godhead. The potencies of the syllable Bha, Ga, and Va apply in terms of many different meanings. Through these different potent agents, the Lord protects and sustains everything, but he himself personally protects and sustains only his devotees. Just as a king personally sustains and protects his own children, while entrusting the protection and sustenance of the state to various administrative agents. The Lord is the leader of his devotees, as we learn from the Bhagavad Gita, which mentions that the personality of Godhead personally instructs his loving devotees how to make certain progress on the path of devotion and thus surely approach the kingdom of God. The Lord is also the recipient of all the adoration offered by his devotees, for whom he is the objective and the goal. For his devotees, the Lord creates a favorable condition for developing a sense of transcendental love of Godhead. Sometimes he does this by taking away a devotee's material attachments by force and baffling all his material protective agents, for thus the devotee must completely depend on the Lord's protection. In this way, the Lord proves himself the leader of his devotees. The Lord is not directly attached to the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the material world, for he is eternally busy in the enjoyment of transcendental bliss with paraphernalia composed of his internal potencies. Yet, as the initiator of the material energy as well as the marginal potency, the living himself as the Purush avatars who are invested with the original form of the personality of Godhead. The living entities are his infinitesimal particles and are qualitatively one with him. They are sent into this material world for material enjoyment to fulfill their desires to be independent individuals, but still they are subject to the supreme will of the Lord. The Lord deputes himself in the state of Supersoul to supervise the arrangements for such material enjoyment. The example of a temporary fair is quite appropriate in this connection. If the citizens of a state assemble in a fair to enjoy for a short period, the government deputes a special officer to supervise it. Such an officer is invested with all governmental powers, and therefore he is identical with the government. When the fair is over, there is no need for such an officer and he returns home. The Paramatma is compared to such an officer. The living beings are not all in all, they are undoubtedly parts of the Supreme Lord and are qualitatively one with him, yet they are subject to his control. Thus, they are never equal to the Lord or one with him. The Lord who associates with the living being is the Paramatma or Supreme Living Being. No one therefore should view the tiny living beings and Supreme Living Being to be on an equal level. The all-pervading truth that exists eternally during the creation, maintenance and annihilation of the material world, and in which the living beings rest in trance, is called the impersonal Brahman. Verse 11. Learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth say that it is non-dual knowledge and is called impersonal Brahman, the localized Paramatma and the personality of Godhead. Purport: this Sanskrit verse appears as the 11th verse of the first canto, 2nd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Sutta Goswami answers the questions of the sages headed by Shaunak Rishi concerning the essence of all scriptural instructions. Tattva Vidaha refers to persons who have knowledge of the absolute truth. They can certainly understand knowledge without duality because they are on the spiritual platform. The absolute truth is known sometimes as Brahman, sometimes as Paramatma, and sometimes as Bhagwan. Persons who are in knowledge of the truth know that one who tries to approach the absolute simply by mental speculation will ultimately realize the impersonal Brahman, and one who tries to approach the absolute through yoga practice will be able to realize Paramatma. But one who has complete knowledge and spiritual understanding realizes the spiritual form of the Bhagwan, the personality of Godhead. Devotees of the personality of Godhead know that Sri Krishna, the son of the king of Vraja, is the absolute truth. They do not discriminate between Sri Krishna's name, form, qualities and pastimes. One who wants to separate the Lord's absolute name, form and qualities from the Lord himself must be understood to be lacking in absolute knowledge. A pure devotee knows that when he chants the transcendental name Krishna, Sri Krishna is present as transcendental sound. He therefore chants with full respect and veneration. When he sees the form of Sri Krishna, he does not see anything different from the Lord. If one sees otherwise, he must be considered untrained in absolute knowledge. This lack of absolute knowledge is called Maya. One who is not Krishna conscious is ruled by the spell of Maya under the control of duality in knowledge. In the absolute, all manifestations of the Supreme Lord are non-dual, just as the multifarious forms of Vishnu, the controller of Maya, are non-dual. Empiric philosophers who pursue the impersonal Brahman accept only the knowledge that the personality of living entity is not different from the personality of the Supreme Lord, and mystic yogis who try to locate the Paramatma accept only the knowledge that the pure soul is not different from the super soul. absolute conception of a pure devotee, however, includes all others. A devotee does not see anything except in its relationship with Krishna, and therefore his realization is the most perfect of all. Verse 12, what the Upanishads call the transcendental impersonal Brahman is the realm of glowing effulgence of the same Supreme Person. Purport: 3 mantras of the Mukunda Upanishad 2.2.9 to 11 give information regarding the bodily effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They state, Hiranyamay parakoshe virajam brahma nishkalam tat shubram jyotisham jyotistad yad atma vido viduh na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yam agnih tam eva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvam idam vibhati brahmaya vedam amritam purastat brahma paschat brahma dakshinatas chotrena adhash chordvam cha prasaratam brahmaya vedam vishwam idam varishtham. In the spiritual realm beyond the material covering is the unlimited Brahman effulgence, which is free from material contamination. That effulgent white light is understood by transcendentalists to be the light of all lights. In that realm, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, fire, or electricity for illumination. Indeed, whatever illumination appears in the material world is only a reflection of that supreme illumination. That Brahman is in front and in back, in the north, south, east, and west, and also overhead and below. In other words, that supreme Brahman effulgence spreads throughout both the material and spiritual skies. Verse 13, as with the naked eye one cannot know the sun except as a glowing substance, similar merely by philosophical speculation one cannot understand Lord Krishna's transcendental varieties. Verse 14, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman, which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays the varieties of countless planets with their different opulences in millions and millions of universes. Purport: this verse appears in the Brahma Samhita 5.40. Each and every one of countless universes is full of innumerable planets with different constitutions and atmospheres. All these come from the unlimited, non-dual Brahman or complete whole, which exists in absolute knowledge. The origin of that unlimited Brahman effulgence is the transcendental body of Govinda, who is offered respectful obeisances as the original and supreme personality of Godhead. Verse 15, Lord Brahma said, the opulences of the impersonal Brahman spread throughout the millions and millions of universes. That Brahman is but the bodily effulgence of Govinda. Verse 16, I worship Govinda, he is my Lord. Only by his grace am I empowered to create the universe. Purport: although the sun is situated far away from other planets, its rays sustain and maintain them all. Indeed, the sun diffuses its heat and light all over the universe. Similarly, the Supreme Sun, Govinda, diffuses his heat and light everywhere in the form of his different potencies. The sun's heat and light are not different from the sun. In the same way, the unlimited potencies of Govinda are not different from Govinda himself. Therefore, the all-pervasive Brahman is the all-pervasive Govinda. The Bhagavad Gita 14.27 clearly mentions that the impersonal Brahman is dependent upon Govinda. That is the real conception of absolute knowledge. So the effulgence is also coming from the Lord. So effulgence is dependent on Lord. And as devotees, our relationship is with the Lord, who is absolute, and we want to serve the Lord. We don't want to be happy just with the Brahman effulgence. Verse 17, naked saints and sannyasis who undergo severe physical penances, who can raise the semen to the brain and who are completely equipoised in Brahman, can live in the realm known as Brahmalok. Purport in this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.6.47, Vata Vasana refers to the mendicants who do not care about anything material, including clothing, but who depend wholly on nature. Such sages do not cover their bodies even in severe winter or scorching sunshine. They take great pains not to avoid any kind of bodily suffering, and they live by begging from door to door. They are celibate and they are able to live like that, and they become most intelligent and develop very sharp memories. Their minds are never disturbed or diverted from the contemplation on the absolute truth, nor they are ever contaminated by the desire for material enjoyment. By practicing severe austerities under strict discipline, such mendicants attain a neutral state, transcendental to the modes of nature, and merge into the impersonal Brahman. So thank you for joining. We'll continue from here onwards next time. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.